now? Can you hear me now? No? I'll just put it a little closer. How about that? Oh, okay. Welcome, everyone. Our worship service will begin shortly. Please take a moment to look around the sanctuary to locate the nearest exit. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please proceed calmly towards this exit and head towards the parking lot. If an evacuation becomes necessary, please also keep an eye out for others who may have mobility challenges or be unfamiliar with our church. Our community takes care of one another.
I didn't do a good job asking. Is there a young person here who wants to ring the bell?
How about an old person?
Is there anybody who would like to ring the bell? Over here. Come on up. Come on, we can have two people. Come on. Three, okay. Maris, I almost caught you when you came in. You guys want to watch Maris do it? Here. So you're going to hit it once, and then breathe, and then hit it second time, and then breathe, and then hit it a third time, okay? We'll have you guys do this next week, okay? Yeah, just go. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. You guys can do it another week, okay? That was a chance to. High five. Okay.
So much excitement. Good morning. My name is Carol Rowan. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm glad to be your worship associate this morning. This one?
No, that's a light. That's the mic.
Which? It sounded pretty loud to me already, but okay. I'm pleased to be your worship associate this morning. Please take a moment to put your mind, spirit, and cell phone in worship mode. We welcome everyone here and online to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Roanoke. Please take a moment to stand or turn if you wish, the other way around, to turn or stand if you wish to greet those joining us online. For anyone online who wishes to share your joys and concerns during the Lifelines portion of the service, please put them in the chat in the next 15 minutes. We acknowledge that our church resides on the traditional lands of the Tuchelo and Monacan nations and was later farmed and developed through slave labor. We recognize and respect the ongoing connection to this land by generations of Black, Indigenous, and other people of color. May our gratitude and fellowship here echo and honor that rich history. Now, please join me in reciting our words of welcome. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you express your identity, whatever your situation in life, whatever your experience of the holy, as you come seeking love, your presence here is a gift. Whether you're filled with sadness or overflowing with joy, needing to play alone with yourself, or eager to engage with others, all who welcome all are welcome here. And our covenant, we commit to supporting each other with respect and direct communication as we work in community to explore spiritual growth and to be a force for good in the world.
Good morning. If you are looking at your order of service, you will soon notice that this opening song, in fact, does have words. We're going to start with You Raise Me Up.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart's burden be. Then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Oh. Everybody okay? We got a thumbs up? Okay. Just something noisy. That'll happen. Good morning. Hi, I am the Reverend Jen Raffensperger. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I have the honor of serving as the minister of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Roanoke, which is where we are all sitting this morning. This somewhat apparently rainy morning. It wasn't raining when I came in, but so today we're going to talk a lot about new beginnings. It's the beginning of this. Now, Roanoke School started a little early this year, so we're blessing backpacks today and doing some honors of those milestones when they've kind of already started. But it is the thought that counts, after all, especially in blessing. It is never too late to extend our best wishes, especially to everybody embarking on a journey of learning, which, honestly, I kind of hope we all are. So we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about how we can always be beginning something new. And I'm going to share a poem. It's very different from the last one I shared from this pulpit. And you may know this one. It's a classic. It's called It Couldn't Be Done by Edgar Guest. Somebody said that it couldn't be done, but he, with a chuckle, replied that maybe it couldn't, but he would be one who wouldn't say so till he tried. So he buckled right in with a trace of a grin on his face. If he worried, he hid it. He started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. Somebody scoffed, "Oh, you'll never do that. At least no one ever has done it." But he took off his coat and he took off his hat, and the first thing we knew, he'd begun it. With a lift of his chin and a bit of a grin, without any doubting or quit it, he started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. There are thousands to tell you it cannot be done. There are thousands to prophesy failure. There are thousands to point out to you one by one the dangers that wait to assail you. But just buckle in with a bit of a grin, just take off your coat and go to it. Just start in to sing as you tackle the thing that cannot be done, and you'll do it. And now I will invite Carol to light our chalice as we join in with Unitarian Universalist churches, congregations, and communities around the nation and the world in lighting the flame of our faith and our living tradition here this morning.
Inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, O Spirit of life.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Hello. If we could
Hello.
have the young people come on up here. And if you have a backpack or a bag or some kind of thing from school or you're learning that you want to bring with you, I think that would be a great idea.
And even if you don't have one,
And if you don't have one, that's fine too. We've got ideas for everything. All right. Come, gather around, gather around. All good. Welcome. Oh my goodness, look at all of you. This is amazing. I'm so glad you're here today. Hi. Hello, friends.
oh, hi, Faye.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi. My name is Sid. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm the Director of Religious Education here. So hello. I hope to get to know all of you and your people. And your people. So today we're going to talk about something really cool. And I'm going to start by saying, how many of you started something new recently or might be starting new in the next couple of weeks? Anybody start anything new in the last week or maybe are starting something new in the next 2 weeks? Yeah. What would that new thing be? School? Virginia Studies in 4th grade, yeah. Are you excited? How do you feel about that? You like that? That's awesome. I'm excited for you. All right. What else? Anybody else have anything they're starting? Okay. So when we start something new, it can be very exciting. It can be a big thing. It can be kind of not a big thing too, whatever the thing is it is for you. But something that we might do is we might give blessings for this new adventure that we are about to embark on. Who knows what a blessing is? Zane? Little bit of a blessing here today. And so let's see. If you brought a bag, I want you to get your bag in front of you, and I want you to hold it in front of you so I can see what you're doing. And you can, okay. And then if you didn't bring a bag, I want you to picture something in your head that you use for your learning adventure. And I want you all to stand up. Yes, hon. Oh, do you need to go get it? Okay, go get it. You've got time. Oh, that's okay. We're just going to use our imaginations. If we don't have one, that's fine. We're just going to use our imaginations. So can you close your eyes with me? And can you picture something that you use for your learning? Can you see it? Like if you close your eyes, can you see it in your imagination? You got it? Okay, you're going to keep that with you, like just in energy, okay? You got it? All right, so let's everybody stand up. Hey, this is an audience participation moment also, so brace yourselves. You can stand up if you would like. I love this for us all. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the young people stand in a line, and then we're going to face these people. That way. You guys stay looking at us. Okay. Can you help me? Okay, and so what I want us to do people who are standing in the congregation, is I want you to think a thought of a blessing for our young people. Take a minute. You got it? Okay, now I'm going to ask you to form your blessing into a ball with your hands. So everybody got their blessing ball? Okay, those are some really big shapes. We're going to need to compact them because there's a lot of those blessings, and the bags and our imaginary things can only hold so much. So I need you to squish it down a little. Squish it, squish it. All right, are we confident that we can do it? Here, come here, bub. Come here. Turn around. Okay. All right, now, my young friends, what I want you to do is, if you have a backpack, hold it open like a basket. And if you don't have a backpack, that's okay. I want you to take your arms and make a hoop. Hold on to your blessing balls. We got it. Okay, I think we got it. Oh, thank you so much, Claire. Okay, all right. Does everybody have an idea of where we're going with this? Okay, young people, brace for impact, because in about 5 seconds, we're going to count it down, and then all of these friends out here, all of these people who have all these good wishes and these blessings for us this year are going to take their blessings, and they're going to toss them into our bags, our baskets, or whatever we brought in our minds. Are we ready? Okay, if you don't throw real objects, though. Okay, it's very important. All right, young ones, you want to count with me? We'll start at 5. We'll get down to 1. At 1, throw away. Okay, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you catch them? Did you get it? Did you get it? Okay, lovely. What do we say to our friends? Thank you so much. And then I'm going to, I think I'll give you the pins as we go upstairs.
Sure, yes, that's great. So you have pins. If you miss it, or if you're an adult learner, you can also grab a pin from Sid after the service, okay?
Please find me after the service. Oh, yes. Okay, at the end, when our friends here are done down here, if you have sent a young person upstairs with me, I would really appreciate it if you could come gather them when you are finished. Does that work? I know. Well, we didn't really have a system, and it's my second week. So for week 1, I didn't say anything. I was just so happy to be here. And then we realized, me and Claire, that we had kids and had no real communication about how we were going to handle that. So I figured that maybe it might be a good idea if we just take care of that housekeeping. And Claire was nice enough to remind me because, again, I'm just so excited. So, Rev Jen, are we ready to take the young ones up?
I think so.
Hold on, hold on, my dear ones, here comes the dawn. Hold on, my dear ones, here comes the dawn.
Yeah, I know my mic. Thank you. Thanks. We added we've got a little extra something that's not even necessarily in your programs, which is an addition. And Emma and Jake, I'm sorry that if you want to go up and do things with other folks or other kids, you can do that after this. But we have some people who are bridging today. So I'd like to invite the Jones family up here. You can sort of just stand here. So this congregation has a tradition of bridging that is usually done in the spring when kids come to the end of a school year and are about to start on the next thing. We honor not just our folks who are graduating from high school or turning 18 and going on into the adult world, but we also honor several different stages of youth and adolescence. And we had a little bit of a shakeup in the spring with our former director of Lifespan Faith Development needing to move on to other things. And now Sid has started, and Sid is awesome. And Sid's never done this, so I'm taking charge. I have also not done this here, but I've done it before. So here we are. So Emma Jones is beginning high school, or already did. I know. School started early this year, and Jake began middle school, right? So this is an outline. We have several different things we call the stages that these folks are bridging into. So the life stage that Jake is entering at this time, we call the age of understanding. That's when we each truly begin to understand who we are. Each new life stage comes with challenges and also gifts. The complexity of the world continues to open before you. Jake, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to go do it. Jake, the congregation presents you with a rose whose bud is fully open, but which has still had its thorns removed. We acknowledge there is so much in the world that can hurt and harm, and we pledge to protect you from it insofar as we are able. When we do baby dedications, we give a closed bud, no thorns. There's a whole rose hierarchy here. So let me actually find one. Most commercially available roses have thorns removed, but that's not a rose. Okay, here we go. Finding one. Yes. There is one little tiny thing. There you go. That's mostly safe. That's mostly safe, y'all. And the life stage, Emma, that you are entering, we call the age of accountability. This means you've learned to reason right from wrong. You understand yourself now more than ever before. And you're not just accountable for your own actions, but you are primed to hold others accountable for their actions towards you. It is a bold and an exciting time. We have a rose with thorns now. Some of them do, but some of them don't. This one, there was one I literally just had for here. So this one definitely has a couple of spiky bits still. Yeah. Look, when you go, look, this all came up pretty light. Look, here, theoretically, this has thorns. I think there's one. Be careful. But we also provide you with garden gloves. This means that we can't protect you from every thorn that's out there, but we hope that we're equipping you with the knowledge and the tools to learn to protect yourself and others. So, parents, sometimes in this part of the ceremony there's a gift, but you're good. Okay, you can do this. I'm just like, I got a script from last year. It's fine. Anyway, so we also want to honor today, in absentia, Maya Thompson, who this very weekend is moving into her dorm at VCU, where she'll study nursing, and Frances Livingston, who's starting at Tech, studying human development. They couldn't be here in person, but they are with us in their hearts, and I am really sorry that we didn't actually do a bridging for them in the spring when they graduated, but I've been in touch with their parents. We are sending out our love and our support to Maya and Frances as they go on to the next exciting adventures. So, now, I'm going to ask you all to stand up again, and people on this aisle, you have a very important job. And if you're not on the aisle and you want to come over to the aisle, we're going to make a bridge, which is really more of a tunnel. So we're going to want people to stand along this aisle, and you can stand up here too, and make it so that we have a little space for our children to walk under. And then we're all going to give a cheer for them. And so we're going to have you walk through, but first we're going to say some words together. Your only job is to respond, we will, okay? Will you, as the elders of these folks in our congregation, promise to offer wisdom and guidance when asked, while allowing space for Emma and Jake to learn on their own? We will. Will you listen when they speak and seek to understand what they teach you? We will. Will you provide care for scraped knees, broken hearts, and all of the bumps that they may encounter on their paths? We will. And will you pledge to value these children and their education both in the world and in our UU faith as they grow? We will. Now, even if you're not on the aisle, if you would lift your hands sort of towards the center here, and I'm going to ask Jake and Emma, walk through the gate of your dear ones, and we will say, yay! Woo! And then you're kind of done. And if you want to stay with your folks or if you want to go upstairs, but thank you, Jones family, and thank you, Emma and Jake, you are loved. And now we'll go on with the rest of the service.
Our reading today is a poem and also a prayer by the Reverend Elizabeth Wynne called For When I Really Don't Want to Learn This. Spirit, I would really rather not learn this. Didn't think I needed to. I thought someone else could do it. Thought a leader was coming to do it. Thought the young people could do it. Or the elders could do it. Or the professionals. Or I don't want to learn it because it means letting go of something I hold dear. Letting go of being someone who knows the answers. Letting go of the way I see the world. Letting go of how I might have to change. Letting go of certainty, of logic, of facts, of control. Of the myth that you can live on this earth and not harm. Or the myth that I can't learn anything new. Help me to learn it, please. And then help me to live what I have learned and to do right by the gift of being taught.
Thank you, Carol. There are thousands to tell you it cannot be done. There are thousands to prophesy failure. There are thousands to point out to you one by one the dangers that wait to assail you. But just buckle in with a bit of a grin, just take off your coat and go to it. Just start in to sing as you tackle the thing that cannot be done, and you'll do it. My dad was a big Edgar Guest guy. He loved memorizing poetry, and Guest's work, charming and rhyming and deeply rooted in the grounded themes of our daily lives, appealed to him. I don't recall if he's the one who taught me this poem or if it was something I read in school, but I know it's lived rent-free in my head for a very long time, though I cannot recite it entirely by heart. Spirit, I would really rather not learn this. I didn't think I needed to. I thought someone else could do it, thought a leader was coming to do it, thought the young people could do it, or the elders could do it, or the professionals. Or I don't want to learn it because it means letting go of something I hold dear. Letting go of being someone who knows the answers. Letting go of being someone who doesn't know. Letting go of the way I see the world. Letting go of how I might have to change. Letting go of certainty, of logic, of facts, of control, of the myth that you can live on this earth and not harm, or the myth that I can't learn anything new. Help me to learn it, please, and then help me to live what I have learned and do right by the gift of being taught. Now, the first time I read this prayer by my colleague, the Reverend Elizabeth Wynne, it landed like a gut punch for me. And I've used it to start meetings, especially hard meetings, about topics that it feels intimidating to tackle. I've used it many times. And often it's received the same way. Woof. Here at the start of the new school year, which also happens to be the start of the new church year, we're in that space so perfectly delineated between these two works. You can do anything you set your mind to. You must realize how incredibly difficult this is. Yes. Both. Yes, and. When I was a girl, I would sometimes share my dreams for the future with my parents. While they were loving and supportive, they were also cautious. My father especially, even for all his Edgar Guest-esque down. When I said I wanted to be a veterinarian, he asked me seriously, do you think you could work with sick cats and dogs all day and sometimes even have to put them to sleep? Yeah. When I said I wanted to be a meteorologist, he said, I don't know, kid, you have to be awfully good at math to do that, and that's not your strong subject. When I said, I believe this was around age, 5 or 6. When I said I wanted to be a nun, he said, nuns take vows of poverty. So if you became a nun, you can't inherit anything when we die. Yeah, I know, right? Like, what? Okay. One of the greatest gifts that my father was able to give me was a steady stream of earnest, honest conversations throughout my life. And this did not end when we learned that he was dying. In fact, we started having those conversations more often. We knew we had to make the most of the time that we had. So one day I asked him why. Why had he so often come up with reasons that I shouldn't do the things I wanted to do? I was scared you would be disappointed if you failed and that would hurt you. I was scared you would be hurt. I thought someone else could do it. Thought a leader was coming to do it. Thought the young people could do it, or the elders could do it, or the professionals. Or I don't want to learn it because it means letting go of something I hold dear. I'm so glad and grateful we got to honor our Bridgers this morning, even the ones who couldn't be here in person, because this is something so important. There's something so important in having this conversation as a congregation. How often in our lives, at any stage of life, have we longed for a leader, specifically someone who wasn't us, to come along with answers or solutions, or even the simple willingness to show their work, to engage in the struggle while not trying to hide that it is a struggle? The other week, after engaging in a few rounds of extremely frustrating, hopelessly bureaucratic miscommunication to address an issue that had dragged on for literal years, I was glad to finally arrive at a satisfactory conclusion. I sent a message to a friend after this conclusion saying in part, "Remember when we were kids and we thought grown-ups knew what they were doing?" Remember when we were kids and the adults in our lives thought they knew what was best for us? Thought they knew how to protect us? Not every adult, not even always the ones that mattered most to us. But there they were. There were some adults in our lives trying their best, maybe trying to give us something that they didn't have, maybe trying to get us to appreciate what we did have instead of wanting something else, something more. Maybe just trying to do what their own parents did or adults they saw growing up did, for good or for ill, simply because they weren't sure what else to do. Admitting that we don't know something can be hard, especially once we're grown up. Letting go of a sense that we have become that mythical being who knows what they are doing. Letting go of a sense that we can exist on this earth and not do harm. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna fail. And what are we supposed to do? Just admit that? Yes. Yes, and. So, there's a little improv game we often do at the start of a class or a rehearsal or a session. And improvisation, whether it's theater or music or drama or comedy, failure is always there, like right alongside us. When we create new things, when we try new things, we can't know that we're going to get it right the first time. In fact, we should probably assume that we won't. That way, if we do get it right, it's like a fun little surprise. And if we don't, well, that's what we figured. Anyway, at the start of an improv session, sometimes we like to do a little exercise that I'd like us to all do right now. It's easy. You can do it right where you're sitting. The exercise is called I failed. When I give the sign, we are all going to say as loudly and proudly as we can, I failed. Not, I failed, but I failed. Like, imagine that after you say that, you're like, can you imagine how awesome it is that I failed, right? So that's the energy we're looking for. Ready? Okay. When I do this, We're all going to say, you can stay seated, but when I do this, we're all going to say, I failed. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I failed. Okay, let's try it again. I failed. And one last time for good luck. I failed. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Somebody scoffed, "Oh, you'll never do that. At least no one ever has done it." But he took off his coat and he took off his hat, and the first thing we knew, he'd begun it. With a lift of his chin and a bit of a grin, without any doubting or quit it, he started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done. And he did it. He started to sing as he tackled the thing, and that's the part of the poem that I love best. We don't get a lot of information about the interiority of this go for it person in Guest's poem. What I mean is, yeah, he's singing and grinning, but is he also maybe just a little scared? Is the singing and grinning a little bit of the whistling past the graveyard? We don't know. And it's that fear, that uncertainty that makes Nguyen's prayer so powerful for me. Letting go of being someone who knows the answers. Letting go of being someone who doesn't know. Letting go of the way I see the world. Letting go of how I might have to change. Letting go of certainty, of logic, of facts, of control. There are stages of life, like adulthood, where we are supposed to know the answers. There are stages of life, like childhood and adolescence, where we are not supposed to know the answers. We honored our Bridgers today. We honored the start of the school year as a way to honor the magnificent act of admitting and acknowledging that we have more to learn. When we talk about school, at least, there is a sense that at some point you're done with it. I know that's not true for all of us. But when we talk about learning, well, that's something else, or I hope it is. It's the start of the church year as well as the start of the school year. Every person here today is at a different place in their own journey and has a different set of questions. You shared some great ones with me last week, and I'm still reflecting on them and how we're going to use them in the year to come. Unitarian Universalism, as many of you may know, is a faith tradition where lots of people in its churches and community centers of a Sunday morning are people who found the faith as an adult. Many of us, myself included, were raised in another faith tradition and learned the lessons that tradition wanted to teach us. And there's also a lot of us who were not raised in any faith tradition but have a curiosity and a seeking nature, and so have absorbed lessons here, there, and everywhere about all these big questions, right? Who are we? Why are we here? Why is there anything at all instead of nothing? What happens when we die? How are we to live? If we think hard enough about it, we're always at the beginning of something, on the cusp of something new. We don't always know what it is, and that uncertainty can be both frightening and exhilarating. If failure is always possible, is always a companion, then so is success. Sometimes we do get too caught up in the things that we can't do or don't know, and we forget there's so much that we do know or have that we may be kind of shy about or try to hide away. Please know your questions are welcome here. Your failures are welcome here. Now, that doesn't mean there won't be times when any of our failures don't call for repair, for the rebuilding of trust and relationship. Remember, one of the things we must let go of is the idea that we can somehow always be perfect and right and good and somehow avoid ever doing harm. Harm will be done here, but love will also be cultivated here. How do we do both? I don't know. Or rather, that's a question that I cannot know the answer to, because that answer doesn't reside within or belong to any single person. It's one we have to live into, to answer together, and to keep revisiting, because the answers and the questions also keep shifting and changing and growing and expanding. In a spirit of learning and growth, this year I'm going to be doing a periodic sermon series on the essentials of Unitarian Universalism. And yes, as we get our new Director of Religious Education up to speed, we're also giving attention to what new educational opportunities we can offer for folks of all ages. So next week, Sunday, August 23rd, we'll have a little soft open on that sermon series. We're going to talk about love and covenant. I tried to do a sermon series last year, but some life stuff got in the way, and you know what? I failed. Right. But I kept showing up imperfectly, kept loving imperfectly, and kept looking for ways to learn and to grow. So may it be for all of us.
So this little improv right now might fail. Oh, I thought I couldn't do it, but I did it. Oh, I thought I couldn't do it, but I did it. I failed, but I'm not gonna give in. It kind of rhymed. Oh, I thought I couldn't do it, but I did it anyway. Oh, I thought I couldn't do it, but I did it today. I didn't fail, but I might. Any day.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. Thank you. We have come to that time in our service each week where we invite you into generosity. So the work of this congregation is simply not possible without the time, talent, and treasure of many people. So our ushers are going to come around and collect an offering. I think there's also a QR code in your orders of service if you prefer to give online. And we thank you in advance for your generosity. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Sally Garber, and it's my honor this morning to represent the Caring Committee. As you may remember, one of the jobs of the Caring Committee is to present the joys and the concerns of our congregation each Sunday. If you have a joy or concern, please take the time to let us know, and you can do that lots of different ways. You can call the office, you can text or email a member of the Caring Committee, or you can write it in the Caring Committee book when you come in the morning. Also, please do keep in mind that the job of the Caring Committee is to help you all. So if you have a joy or a need, please do let us know. We're good at celebrating and we're good at helping. I have one item to share with you this morning. On Wednesday, UUCR collected 21 units of blood for the Red Cross. I would say a big hurrah. There were 20 volunteer donors and 3 volunteer workers. Thank you to all that helped. Now it's your opportunity to come forward during the meditational music and light a joy or a concern that you have in your heart. Thank you. May our prayers be heard and our hearts be restored.
Thank you, Sally. And yes, the Caring Committee does do a lot of celebrating and of helping. And so if you'd like to learn more about what they do, you can also ask Sally or me or get connected to see if it's something you might enjoy doing. We're very grateful for their ministry of care. I was reading one thing I try to do to keep my spirits steady in the onslaught of all of the things in the world is I try to have a limited intake of news but not have an intake of news. I read the AP Wire every morning, and I try to look at just to try to get a more broad sense. I try to read at least one story that's not in the United States so that I have a broader sense of what's happening in the world, knowing that I cannot know all the things, right? Speaking of learning and knowing. And this is constantly being refined. And this morning I just happened to read, and it saddens me because the ways we get information about our world are so diffuse now that I know there are so many things that I'm missing, even closer to home. So I read this morning that yesterday morning there was a shooting at Virginia State University, south of Richmond. I believe that only one student was killed, but again, only, right? If you've been here for a minute, you've probably heard me talk about gun violence is a particular thing that breaks my heart the most. When you think about what is the thing about all of this that is heartbreaking, and even though there are a lot of louder things often in the news now, there's been this strange softening towards the horror. I perceive it as a softening towards the horror when young people take up arms and kill their peers or their teachers or just people who happen to be in the way because they don't know what to do with their anger or their fear. So I'm going to light this candle today for every act of gun violence that has happened in this country in the last week that didn't make a single headline, that we didn't hear about because 1,000 other really important things took our attention. That's what this is for. Okay, this candle isn't really, the wick's not quite, yes, it failed. But that's okay. We might be able to trim it down or, wow, I'm also failing because I totally just dropped that one in the sand. Woo! So I'll just go ahead and take that as a sign from the universe to also just light this second one for everyone who is not here in the sanctuary with us today, including our two new college there are probably more people who are associated with here who are starting college, but the ones we've named, and everybody joining us online today, you are not physically present here in the sanctuary, but we can feel your spirit with us. And now, if you will join me for a time of prayer and reflection, if you want to settle in your seat, if it helps you to kind of relax, maybe put your hands on your knees, feet flat on the floor, if that's helpful for you. Close your eyes if you're not fully comfortable with that. Maybe soften your gaze. Spirit of life and God of many names, we have already asked. Sometimes we don't want to learn things. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed by the number of things we need to know and learn and do just to get through a day or a week of what feels like a deeply ordinary life. Open our hearts to the joy and the understanding and the wisdom that there is no ordinary life, that every life is precious, has the capacity for wonder and joy and astonishment and deep grief and sorrow, but the biggest ground for love, for connection. Not all the time. It's both and. There are going to be days where you can reach out to someone else and days when someone else needs to reach out to you. Please help us to learn this, to keep one another in mind, even especially as we may be struggling. Sometimes a great gift you can give to someone is to let them help you. So may it be.
And now, as we draw close to the end of our time together in worship this week, we turn our attention from the joys and concerns within our own hearts and to the work of the week ahead. We'll begin with a few announcements. The deadline to submit an application for mission and ministry funds is September 1st of this year. The Endowment Committee has $8,000 to award this cycle. The Mission and Ministry Fund application can be found on the church's website. If you have any questions, contact Tim Andriano. Here's one that we'll want to pay attention to. Save the date. Reverend Jen will be installed as our settled minister in a special service on Saturday, September 26th at 2 p.m. Keep an eye on your email for more information soon to come. And one of those was in my mailbox this morning, maybe some of yours too. UUCR's hardworking board met this past Tuesday. We now welcome Nate Jones to give us an update from that meeting.
Hello, everybody. I brought the clipboard just to make it seem more official. I hope that helps. I'm Nate Jones. I'm the new VP of Finance. I'm honored to take that position. And my wife, Kate, reminded me that this is a board minute, so I'm going to keep it pretty tight. On the board meeting that we had on August 11th, the board decided to change the monthly meeting schedule for the board to give the Finance Committee a little bit more time to prepare numbers from the previous month. So in December, we will begin having our meeting on the third Tuesday instead of the second Tuesday. So for September, October, and November, we're still on the second Tuesday. So if anyone wants to come and observe, you're welcome. If you'd like to speak, we ask that you just contact Cindy Lawler and let her know that you would like to speak to us. So staying on the second Tuesday for the next 3 months, but in December, we're going to flip to the third. The board approved a budget of $2,000 for Rev Jen's installation ceremony that we just talked about. That will be covering fees, travel, flowers, refreshments, etc., and a gift. The UUCR's mandated biannual financial review is due in December. That was the first thing that came to my attention as the new VP of Finance. We're going to have an outside organization do the audit. I think that falls in line better with best practice. So we will be doing a review of the 25 and 26 fiscal year, and we'll be hiring outside help for that. Some staffing vacancies last year and a discovered calculation error in the minister's package left us with some money, which is always good to hear as the VP of Finance. So after topping off some reserve accounts, we have about $10,000 with which to reallocate. And the board voted to apply the funds as follows. $4,000 will go to our fair share pledge to the UUA, the Unitarian Universalist Association. That will fulfill the full amount for us, which is very exciting. It also gives us what's called honor status, which means we get more stuff from them, which is very exciting. And it also helps them to meet their own goals in the world and among less fortunate congregations. $2,000 goes to Rev Jen's installation service, and then the $4,000 to pay for the external audit. Finally, with the input from the UUA, the board has begun working on a disruptive behavior policy that will guide our actions when we are out of covenant with each other, and we'll share more as that policy is developed. I hope that was close to a minute, and thank you guys.
Nate, it's great. I mean, a board minute is a hopeful, aspirational. We are doing a lot. The board is doing a lot. I'm honored to work with the board. We've got new folks in, and it's going to be a great year. Carol, I will now invite you to extinguish our chalice, as we do at the start of each week. We also conclude by extinguishing the literal flame of our flaming chalice within our sanctuary as we join with Unitarian Universalist churches, congregations, and communities across the nation and the world in affirming that we pledge to carry this flame of our faith within our hearts in the week ahead. And right into the benediction. You know, it's different because I'm standing someplace else. The word for the week is failure. Make it holy. Make yourself less afraid of it. It is in the places where we do not always meet our own expectations that we can learn, grow, and cultivate empathy for others and their own failures, knowing that success is also a constant companion for us. May it be for you this week.
Climb every mountain, search high and low, follow every rainbow, every path you know. Climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow till you find your dream.
A dream that will need all the love you can give every day of your life, for as long as you live. Climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow till you find your dream.
Thank you, Martha.